Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're diving headfirst into a really big topic. It's reshaping how a lot of us work with tech, artificial intelligence. Specifically, its captivating potential in user experience design, UX. I mean, just imagine this idea of instant UX. We've definitely seen some incredible demos, haven't we? Our sources talk about this really compelling vision. You just type a prompt like build me an e-commerce app, wait maybe 10 seconds, and boom, you get a whole set of screens, user flows, maybe even a deployment link. It looks amazing. Okay, let's unpack this. Is this kind of super fast AI automation, is it really a shortcut to success? Or are there maybe hidden costs, to letting the AI do all the heavy thinking? So our mission here is to figure out why the material we looked at argues that full AI automation might actually be a, quote, bad UX strategy, and importantly, what a smarter way forward really looks like.
Yeah, and what's fascinating here is while those instant generation demos are undeniably impressive looking, the sources, they pretty much immediately raise a flag, a fundamental caution. They suggest that when an AI is just generating stuff on its own, it's essentially just guessing, and they put it quite starkly. Bad guesses can cost you customers.
So this really goes beyond just how nice a design looks. It's about grasping those critical, often subtle nuances that, well, the AI just can't perceive without human direction.
Right. So let's talk about that allure, that temptation of full automation. The sources point out there's been this explosion of platforms recently promising exactly this. You feed them a simple prompt, they claim they'll spit out whole screens, flows, even working code sometimes. Feels almost like magic, doesn't it? But here's the core issue our sources keep highlighting. The AI doesn't know your specific users.
Exactly.
Or your unique market position, or your particular business model. So the design it creates, often it's just a clever remix of common patterns we've all seen. Safe, maybe, but also, as the sources say, maybe a bit soulless. Yeah, lacking that unique spark.
And without real human guidance, the output can be surprisingly off target.
Right.
And apparently, it's incredibly difficult to kind of course correct once you realize, hang on, this isn't quite right for what we actually need.
And well, that takes us straight to a crucial point the material really digs into. The cost of letting AI think alone. When the AI is just left unchecked, the consequences start to pile up. They become very real. First, you're likely to run into misaligned features.
Okay, what does that mean exactly? Misaligned features.
It means you end up building features users don't actually want or need, while maybe completely missing the ones they desperately do.
Got it.
Then you often see generic experiences, designs that feel like they came straight off a template shelf.
Because, well, they kind of did.
Pretty much. And maybe most critically, the sources warn about these strategic blind spots. The AI might totally miss vital things like, say, compliance requirements or operational constraints.
Oh, wow.
Or even unique branding elements it just wasn't trained to consider or, frankly, understand.
Okay, but I can hear some listeners thinking, well, isn't any UX template a bit generic? How's AI really different from just using a standard design system? What do the sources say about making that distinction? Because honestly, the most kind of insidious cost mentioned seems to be this innovation decay. If everyone starts relying on the exact same fully automated tools, the material warns, well, everything starts to look the same.
Right. Homogenization.
Yeah. User experiences just blur together. And what's really vital, brands lose their uniqueness. And what's even more concerning is this idea that teams might just stop questioning design decisions.
Oh, that's dangerous.
Yeah, because the AI made them. That feels like where the real threat to critical thinking and, genuine innovation really lies.
That is precisely the distinction the sources make. A design system gives you building blocks, right? Legos, essentially. But AI, when it's fully automated like this, it claims to be the architect. But it's an architect that doesn't understand the land it's building on or the client it's building for. That's why the sources are so adamant that UX is more than output.
Okay.
It isn't just about churning out screens faster. It's fundamentally about understanding people, understanding problems, and then making deliberate, informed design decisions based on that understanding.
Right. The human judgment part.
Exactly. Yeah. That whole process, it demands things only humans can really provide right now. Empathy, truly getting how users feel and why they do what they do. Context, understanding the market, the business realities, the competition, and trade-offs, deciding, okay, where do we invest our effort for the biggest impact? That's a strategic choice.
Yeah.
AI can absolutely be an incredible assistant for parts of this, sure, helping with research, generating ideas, but the sources are clear. It explicitly shouldn't make those core decisions for you.
Okay, so if full automation is the wrong path, according to these sources.
Mm-hmm.
What's the right one?
Mm.
And that's where one of our sources, uxcelerate.ai, they come in with what they call the assist, don't replace philosophy. So where these fully automated platforms aim to just take over completely, their approach is focused on, quote, accelerating you.
Right. Augmenting the human.
Exactly. You, the human, you stay in the driver's seat, you define the core direction, the requirements, the goals, the brand stuff. Then the AI steps in to do the heavy lifting, generating things like personas, user journeys, flows, mock-ups.
And this is the crucial bit they emphasize. You refine it, you adapt it.
You make sure the output stays strategically relevant and actually unique to what you need.
So it's editable, not locked in.
Totally editable. Nothing's locked. The AI really acts like your co-pilot. Not the autopilot taking you somewhere random.
And this approach, it really reflects a critical market trend that the sources talk about quite a bit, this risk to creativity. They point out that in this relentless race for just pure speed, many of these code generation tools, these app builder platforms, they're inadvertently, maybe unintentionally, eroding the very thing that makes products and brands stand out.
Which is
genuine creativity, originality. When every new product seems to pop out of the same instant generator mold, like the authors say, user experiences just blur together. They become commodities.
Yeah, I can see that.
And ultimately, brands start to lose their unique voice, their personality. So the smarter way forward that the material consistently pushes for, it's about achieving speed without losing your creative fingerprint.
Okay, speed plus creativity, not speed versus creativity.
Precisely. It's about accelerating human effort, augmenting our intelligence, not trying to replace it wholesale, so you can focus your time and energy on the thinking that really matters, the strategic, creative, empathetic stuff.
So what does this all mean for you listening, regardless of what field you're in? I think this deep dive has really highlighted a core It really reinforces this idea that true UX, or maybe true value creation in many fields, isn't just about outputting stuff, screens, code, reports. It's fundamentally about understanding people and problems, and then making deliberate design decisions, or just deliberate decisions, period.
Right. Informed choices.
And we've explored just how critical those uniquely human elements are, the empathy, the context, that ability to make nuanced trade-offs. AI just isn't there yet. And if you do completely hand over control to the AI, the sources warn pretty clearly about the risks. You get misaligned features that miss the mark.
Wasted effort.
You get generic experiences that just lack any soul. You risk dangerous strategic blind spots.
Big ones.
And you face that pervasive threat of innovation decay where, eventually everything starts to look the same and brands lose their distinctiveness.
Yeah.
And look, this isn't just a lesson for UX designers, right?
No, not at all.
This philosophy really applies to any area where you might be tempted to just let AI take over the core thinking for you.
Absolutely. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, the material ultimately champions achieving speed without losing your creative fingerprint. That's the goal. The smarter way forward is precisely about amplifying human effort, not just substituting it, so you can focus your valuable brain power on the thinking that really matters. The sources state it very firmly. Keep control, stay creative.
Keep control, stay creative. I like that.
Yeah. So here's a thought I want to leave you with, something to maybe ponder. Where else in your work, or maybe even in your personal life, might you be tempted to outsource thinking to AI? And what could be the real long-term impact on your unique perspective, on your critical thinking skills, on your genuine creativity, if you gradually cede that fundamental control? It's definitely a question well worth pondering as these tools become more and more powerful.